Was there anything striking to you about their behavior compared to deer or elk when you were observing them?
I would say in general, caribou is certainly less wary. You know, if you've observed many other ungulates, especially deer and whitetail in particular, you know, whitetail live like they're on the edge all the time. They are tuned up and twitchy, you know, every second of their being, and and they're ready to leap away at the slightest, you know, sight or sound. And caribou certainly don't exhibit that type of behavior. They're much less wary as far as, you know, avoiding predators in that way and with all their senses. And I think it's because they lived in a place where they didn't have to. You know, historically they lived in those higher elevations, dense forests that didn't support a lot of other ungulates or other predators. So that behavior just wasn't ingrained and didn't evolve in them. So just from the observations and knowing what's happened to them, you know, that would be my assessment, is they're just not very good at it. So they're easy prey, I'd say.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you saw a caribou in the wild?
Probably the first one I saw was actually jumping out of a helicopter and tackling one of the net gunned. I didn't see a caribou here until we went and caught them up in BC, and you know, we caught them using drive nets and net guns. And then here, as far as once they were in Idaho, I saw several during flights, of course, monitoring flights, but then different trips up into the mountain lakes. They like to stay around Two Mouth Lakes and Harrison Lakes, and I encountered a herd at Harrison Lake on July 4th in about 1989, 1990, somewhere in there. They like to hang around the lake. It'd been a late spring. There's still quite a bit of snow. The lake was still half frozen over, and there was a group of them right there where people camp along the lake there. Other encounters, primarily going out looking for, every time we get a mortality signal, we'd hike or ski or whatever we could to get to the location, and I would encounter caribou at most of those locations. When we'd find a dead one, they were usually, you know, they're a herding animal. There were usually other caribou around. No great numbers, but I encountered caribou several times during an investigation of mortalities.